Hello everyone, I am Erika of Beadingschool.com and you are watching Coffee Time with Erika, my weekly beady broadcast. Today we are going to talk about bead embroidery. But before I would start, please let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me well. You can watch today's Coffee Time with Erika on the Beading School YouTube channel and also on the Beading School Facebook page. So lovely ladies, can you hear me? Can you see me? Please let me know. I see Rita, I see Ariane, I see Gapamu. So lovely to see you ladies. I hope you have a nice afternoon or morning or night if Faye is watching, because for her it's like 5 a.m. I also see Katya, Sherry, Rachel, and Ariana says that she can see me and hear me. Wonderful. Sarah is here. Faye. Good morning, dear Faye, indeed. Linda, Sherry, Kata is here, Ingrid, Irina, and Antoinette. So every second month, we dedicate a week to bead embroidery. It always corresponds with the Beading School Academy team that we are working on. So today, when it's time again for a bead embroidery team, we are going to talk about the fairy forest, a gentle, dreamy collection dedicated to the fairy tales of the British Isles. While we kept wondering where the magical creatures are hiding, maybe in one of the not yet fully blooming flowers, maybe behind the door, or even in one of our boxes carefully keeping some of our sparkly treasures, we also dedicated some time during these past 2 months to celebrate Ireland's St. Patrick's Day with all the green and golden tones of the shamrock lockbox. For today, I have prepared for you an extensive overview of gift tutorials that we designed for you over the past decade that will help you to build up and extend your knowledge and experience in bead embroidery. Stay with me until the very end. I have more surprises coming, including something absolutely beautiful from the newest member of the creative team of Beading School, or as we like to call ourselves, the unicorns. So do you know, ladies, who I am talking about? The newest member? In the meanwhile, I would also like to greet Antoinette, Jacqueline, Jill, Ludka. Faye says it's 3 a.m. now because of the time difference. Oh my god. Bernadette, I hope you had already a coffee. Bernadette, Miriam is here. Erika, Molly, Elena, Lita, Corinne, Cindy, Palima, Kimberly. Corinne is asking if it's Aniko. Katya is also thinking about Aniko. Miriam says, surprises. I am waiting impatiently for Beading School birthday. And indeed, April is kind of a birthday month. It started with Zuzi's birthday, continued with mine. And I would like to thank you all for all the lovely birthday wishes. And it will continue next week with Beading School's birthday. So it will be a whole week of celebration, a whole week of looking back at our history, getting to know the team a lot more, taking a sneak peek behind the scenes, and all kinds of beady surprises. Everyone is, by the way, thinking about Aniko, and indeed at the end of today's video, I will have a surprise from Aniko. Before we would start, I would also like to share with you some amazing news, because many of you were wondering, if the Azure Dreams colorway of Vicky Roberts' Contessa necklace will be available again. And I talked today to Andrea, and she managed to put together with her team a few more kits. So I already posted the link to you. So I think there are 5 kits available at the moment, 5 or 6, if you would like to grab one. I know that many of you were sad that the Azure Blue kits were gone while you were still asleep. So Andrea worked a bit of magic and put together a few more kits. I would also like to thank everyone who has joined our Springtime Awakening game over the weekend or who placed a new sparkly bead order. We really appreciate your trust in us and your time and enthusiasm to join the activities that we organize. So everyone who placed an order last week requiring shipping will receive a sweet surprise to celebrate spring. And those beaders who were lucky enough to find a Springtime Awakening gift bag in the bead shop can look forward to their next packages even more, as our treasury team will add the prices to your next packages. And I would also like to greet Merle, Sarah, Terry, Cindy, and Angelina. And before I would share with you my presentation about the bead embroidery gift tutorials that I told you about, I would like to talk about something else. Already for some time, you know, if you follow our social media, that I am going through lots of changes and an emotional phase in my life. I have talked about my personal happenings and how I process difficult feelings besides the positive ones. By accepting them instead of fighting, and by talking about them with hope for resolution instead of pushing them under the carpet. I have learned my lesson well during the past years to know that all emotions are valid. Even anger, even frustration, anxiety, and even jealousy. There is nothing wrong about an emotion, may it be positive or negative. We choose only how we act upon them, and that's when we can show our emotional maturity. But what is incredibly important is to let us feel them fully instead of pushing them away. That's the only way to change them or let them disperse with time. In case we want to deepen a connection, sharing honestly and listening to each other, it's the only way to work through a temporary feeling of being hurt if we open the topic and talk about it. And this is so true about romantic relationships, about friendships, and also communities here on the internet. A little while ago, I started to ask you more frequently to help us spread the word about Beading School. I genuinely believe in the value of what we create. I am proud of what we stand for, and I am incredibly happy to read all the messages about how beading, creativity, and especially the community enrich your lives. To keep going and to make this place even better, we need your help. Your genuine testimonials, reviews, you talking about Beading School and our community online and offline, and your feedback. Probably as the result of my plea, I saw many diverse posts recommending Beading School over the past weeks. You have been so amazing in doing that, and I am incredibly grateful. Among others, I would like to mention Sarah, for example, who wrote a whole post about how we managed to improve shipping to Sweden after she raised the issue, and how easy and fast it has become, thanks to Andrea and her team managing to negotiate so well with UPS and introducing this new shipping option. Unfortunately, it also happened recently that one of you mentioned us in connection with a design that we actually ordered from a fellow friend designer for you, and her post was flagged as an advertisement in a beading group. And I am very sorry for this inconvenience. I am so happy that we are here in this colorful adventure together, and I am sorry that this has happened. And of course, we want to avoid situations like this that cause you a headache. So, Lovelies, if you feel like sharing, and again, I am incredibly grateful for it, please make sure that it is okay with the group rules. And remember, your own profiles are always a great place to post. It is your video, your voice, your space, and your joy, your choice, what you share there. The main reason why I am mentioning this now is that afterwards, when this happened, that someone's post was flagged as advertisement, she was asked to remove a comment from our Beading School Club. And I would like to share this actually, that this plea to remove the comment was not coming from me or anyone from the Beading School team. Removing comments simply because they contain negative emotions is not something that we do here. We remove comments only if, and actually this has never happened, we have it in the rules, but this has never happened. We would remove comments if they would be homophobic, racist, or hateful in any way, or if they intentionally stir up conflict and we can feel a harmful intention behind them, but only after we have tried to resolve it peacefully. And that was my intention when I noticed the negative emotions. Addressing them, talking about them, accepting, responding, and processing together. Emotions are valid. We all feel differently, and it's okay. We do our best to respond gracefully when something like this happens, differ where we have another opinion, but always honor each other's experiences. On Facebook, negative comments are rare. Like, I have a feeling that we know each other so well. But every once in a while, we get one on YouTube. And honestly, 100% positive feedback wouldn't even feel authentic. It's okay to have differing opinions. What matters is how we phrase it and how do we respond. During the past years, I was called, me personally, I was called stupid, I was called cheesy. Someone told me on social media that I am talking nonsense. Recently, a beader said that it's not possible to listen to all the irrelevant stuff that I talk about. And it's fine. Not every place is for everyone, and they do have the right to express themselves, just as to share positive feedback. In these cases, I respond by describing that we are very much about the community too, not only about information. And greeting our beaders at the beginning of a broadcast won't go anywhere. And if someone doesn't like my style, it's absolutely fine. I'm sure that there are numerous beady places on the internet that fit them better. And of course, it's also all right that different admins of different beading groups respond to these kinds of situations differently. It doesn't say anything about the value of one or another place, but this is something that we don't do. And there are lots of amazing groups on Facebook where you can learn. So all in all, thank you so much for the positive spirit that you bring to the Beading School Club and on our social media channels. Your energy, your time, and creativity make it into what it is. A vibrant, welcoming place to bead and belong. And let's keep the high spirits. Let's respect each other's differing opinions and feelings. And let's look together for constructive solutions when there is a question or unintentionally someone doesn't feel that she was heard. So thank you so much for listening to this, because I really wanted to mention it. And please feel safe with us to talk about everything what you feel. I am 100% sure about it, that we are emotionally mature enough to talk even about problems, besides all the wonderful, colorful things that we experience together. So thank you so much, ladies. And thank you for making the Beading School Club into an honest, safe place. And now back to bead embroidery. So back to our main topic. So, and thank you for the comments, ladies. I do believe in it, that it is important to share also negative things. We are responsible for it. How do we phrase it? We need to be kind and respectful, even in tricky situations. And it's all right. Like, it's really not about me getting those comments, because I can deal with it, ladies. At 40, I can deal with it, and it's fine. It's about the comment, like someone was asked to remove a comment from our group, and it is different than what I would have wished for, because I don't want to push away any kind of emotions. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, ladies. And let's talk about bead embroidery now. So, as I mentioned in the beginning, I have prepared for you an extensive overview of gift tutorials that we designed for you over the past decade, that will help you to build up and extend your knowledge and experience in bead embroidery. There is so much to learn on the Beading School blog and also from the YouTube channel, and it actually grew so much over these past years that sometimes it's hard to orientate ourselves, sometimes it's hard to find what we are looking for. So that's why I thought that today this coffee time should be dedicated to this topic. So I have also compiled a big overview of links, so you don't have to look them up one by one. And I have just posted it. It's a huge comment with all the links that I will be mentioning today, and hopefully it appeared on YouTube and also also on Facebook. Please let me know if you can see my long comment with all the links. And I tried to even pin it. And when you see PIC in the before the links, then it's for me a note actually that's when I want to show you a different picture on the screen. So now you also experience a little bit how it is to be behind the scenes. And Jacqueline says, in the meanwhile, Tuesdays and Thursdays are my favorite day. We get time to spend with you and your fellow beaders. And thank you, Jacqueline. I'm so happy that you are here with us. And Kapomu is asking for the earrings. I will actually show them a little bit later. It is not a coincidence that I am wearing it today. Okay, so it seems that the comment is not showing up for some reason. This is how it looks like. Very, very, very long. But if I could not post it, maybe it was too long. Let me try it. Okay, I posted it on Facebook, and I am also trying to post it on YouTube. On YouTube it's too long, so I will need to add it later. But anyway, back to I will also add it to the Facebook group. So back to my list, and then later I will share with you the links. So I would like to first show you a few places where you can learn the basics of bead embroidery, and then I will move on towards specific tutorials. And first of all, I would like to mention the traveler, because I would say when you are embarking on the journey of bead embroidery and you want to make sure that you have a strong foundation, then this is where I always recommend to start. And YouTube is broadcasting, but you might need to go on the, yeah, indeed, Rita says she can see me on YouTube. And so the traveler, this is something that I started to make about 12 years ago when I still used to live in Prague, and I created the first bead embroidery jewels using coins. They were memories for me, and from countries that I visited over the years. And then later, a lot later, when COVID hit, then I was asked to teach a series of bead embroidery classes, actually in the Seed Beads and More group, and I'm really grateful for them for that opportunity. And I think the group brings lots of beady value and beady knowledge. So I still treasure those times when I was teaching the traveler. So if you watch this series of videos, then it starts with the basics. It explains to you what kind of material you will need, but then also moves on to creating a finished jewel, all the basic stitches that you need to know, and also personalizing your bracelet or pendant or necklace or earrings. So if you click the link that I posted, then also you will find the Q&A sessions. So after every chapter during this month, there was a Q&A and beaders could ask questions in live. So all the basics have an answer there. And Ginny indeed says, I took that lesson when you presented it on seed beads and more, and it was wonderful. I refer to it often. I can never recall how to start the finishing stitch for the backing, and I am thankful I have it to refer to. I'm really happy that you joined back then, Ginny, and so many more beaders. We actually have, this is Miriam's beautiful pendant with a coin from Uruguay. So we were actually traveling through different countries and different memories while we were locked in our homes. So it was also very emotional back then. And we even put together an article showing the jewels and sharing the stories of some of the beaders who participated. So I also posted the link to that article on the Beading School blog now. Besides the Traveler, I would also like to refer to the big bead embroidery handbook. This is the work of Susie, and she collected many, many, many different resources. So this is also something that I would like to recommend to bookmark in your browser, because it will bring you to all those important pages about bead embroidery. Do you ladies use the Bead Embroidery Handbook, by the way? I'm curious. In the meantime, Faye says, I love my Traveler. It is displayed in my china cabinet at home, so I can see it every day. My first bead embroidery. And Kimberly is complimenting Miriam on her beautiful bead embroidery that I posted. And Ariana says, I like the tip of drawing lines for perfect angles, but what to do with the lines on the foundation when I like to use filigrees or just the color of the foundation and don't want to see the lines? Ariana, you can buy pens in shops with sewing supplies, which disappear from the fabric after a while. I like to use pens which blend in kind of, so I see it like good enough, but not too much. But I would recommend trying one of those pens that disappear later. So besides Susie's Bead Embroidery Handbook, another source of bead embroidery knowledge is this article that I have posted recommending you my favorite beads, components, and tools that I keep using when I'm doing bead embroidery. So as you see, I really, really love coins, and someone asked about the size. And I would say that the thickness of the coins matter more than the size of it. I have used smaller, I have used bigger. It really depends, like how much do you want to extend the piece. So what's important, that the coin should not be super thin, or if it is, then you can make it higher, make it taller with a layer of ultra sweet. But the diameter, as you can bezel an 8mm cabochon, but also a 35mm one, you can also bezel small coins and bigger ones. So everything should work. Then another article that I would like to recommend is about how to start with bead embroidery. And this will tell you about all the basic tools that you need and all the tools, including that super clever hoop that we learned from Nitty to use, and also this special ruler that I always use to mark the lines on my bead embroidery. So we have also this bead embroidery toolkit that you might want to pick up if you would like to start with bead embroidery. So there is a hoop to make sure that your surface stays flat. There is the ruler, so you can mark lines, how Ariana mentioned, her favorite tip. You can mark lines on the fabric to make sure that the beads are well divided in even distances. We included a filigree, we included ultra suede, and also needles specifically for bead embroidery. And Vanya wanted to see one more time the picture with the hoop. So this was a super nice trick that I learned from Nitty, and I am also posting a link to her article. So if the ultra suede is too small compared to the hoop, then you can stitch it to another piece of fabric and still you will be able to attach it to the hoop. And Deb says about the size of the coin, I used a coin that was very small, smaller than an American dime, and it worked well. So these are the basics that I wanted to mention. And now let's move on to the tutorials themselves. And I am very, very curious, which ones have you beaded and what was your experience? So when I am mentioning a tutorial, then please also tell me if you have experience with it and how did you like it, what did you learn from it. So let's also like recommend to each other our favorite tutorials. And there is a lot, so let's dive in. So of course this is the Traveler, and I will post the link one more time because this is like really I can't stop recommending it. And you can make it colorful, that like the yellow one I showed you before. You can use shaped beads, or you can stick to bicones, fire polished beads, as in this one with a bit of cup chain. So everything is possible. You can use coins, you can use the Czech handcrafted cabochons that we love so much recently. You can use beading school art cabochons in the middle. Basically, everything which has a flat backside and circular is super easy to use in a Traveler. Miriam made 2 Travelers, for example, and Vanya says the Traveler is a must. So after the Traveler, a year later, I was teaching again for a full month in the Seed Beads and More group. And it was a series of classes about advanced techniques in bead embroidery. And again, it was a very intense but absolutely lovely, lovely month. The admins were very hospitable, beaders were amazing. So I really, really enjoyed teaching there. And Faith is also about the Traveler. It is such an amazing first project. It gets you hooked. So after the Traveler, if you would like to level up, then I would like to recommend the Moonlight Sonata. And I have it available on YouTube, posting the link now. And this tutorial, Vanya made it, she says. And Miriam, I remember yours in pink. So this tutorial shows you that you can use more than one cabochon in a bead embroidery project. You can fill the whole shape with as many cabochons as you would like to, and you can create different shapes. So this will show you how to pre-draw your shape, how to think about filling it, and also how to hang something at the bottom. Ginny says, this crescent moon was so much fun. I love mine as a brooch. I'm really happy about that, Ginny. Then if we move on, I would like to show here the bloom bracelet. And this was originally a bead woven design, but I wanted to turn it into a cuff. So in the video, you can learn how you can connect bead woven piece motifs into each other with filigrees and then attach it all to the ultra thread and turn that into a cuff. And while we are talking about cuffs and bracelets, then you can, Joy said that she made it, and amazing. And so while we are talking about cuffs and bracelets, I would like to also recommend to you the Midnight Sky cuff by Susie. It sparkles like crazy. I love that specific leather with the diamond surface so much. So I was really happy to see how Susie used it to show so much from the leather. And Miriam says, I love the idea of stitching beaded elements on the leather. And Vanya already has the components to make it. And Deb says, the bracelet was one of my favorites to make. Oh, and Kimberly loves bead embroidered bracelets. Besides the Midnight Sky, there is another one that I created earlier, and it's called the Mirror of the Maharaja. And here I am also showcasing a lot from the leather. You can also use ultra thread if you would like to. And then I attached a filigree and a cabochon to it. It's similar to the Midnight Sky, but Susie added more beadwork. And then another piece that I created for that advanced bead embroidery month is the Arabesque Garden. I just posted the link to the video. And here what I did that I really, really wanted to play with one of the historic filigrees. So that was, instead of drawing my guidelines as often I do with the ruler, the filigree itself became my canvas. So you might spot it that I attached it with tiny stitches to the ultra thread, and then I found a pattern in it. I found a diamond shape in the filigree where I added a gem duo. I found a rectangle where I added a half tilla, and you can do this with any shape of filigrees that you like. And you showcase a lot of the historic filigree, and I know that you love that. And then I would like to mention Susie's Genli. And this is another project where she starts with a bead woven design. However, she turns it into bead embroidery. And she did it during the Dangerous Liaisons team. And I love it that the smaller bead woven motifs can become earrings, and then the one extended with bead embroidery can become a brooch or a pendant or part of a statement necklace. So if you would like to do something similar, actually with any kind of bead woven motif, then please look into Susie's article. Then I also have here the tribute. Oh, and Miriam says, in the meantime, I got several fuchsia boxes with filigrees. I could embroider them all. Aren't they beautiful? And they are just so inspiring. And Sherry says, this was a fun one to make too. Very pretty technique. And now the next one that I would like to show is the tribute. And this is actually a tribute to friendship, this motif. It's teardrop shaped, And the 3 cabochons that you can see on the picture, they were actually gifts from Susie. And then later I gifted the 3 rings to 3 friends that are close to me. Later I made an older version, and this is actually the one that you can see on YouTube if you follow the link. And then nowadays we have bigger teardrop shaped art cabochons available in the bead shop, and Melinda actually beaded this as a pendant. And Miriam says, tribute is so cute and lovely to make. I love mine so much. And I'm super happy to hear that, Miriam. And I think when you do like a traveler, then you do like more advanced projects, then it's also like nice to take a step back and beat something easy again. So tribute can be one of those comfort pieces. And then a different type of filigree is this colorful laser cut one. And this one also has a video available on YouTube. It's called Romance. And again, I wanted to show as much from the Ultra Suite and as much from the filigree as possible. So this is a pretty quick project. So while bead embroidery tends to be time consuming, please remember that you don't need to fill everything. You can also leave it airy. And this is what you see in this video tutorial. And if you like to show the fabric and play with the colors, Vanya made the romance into earrings, actually, she says. And if you like to play with the colors of the foundation, then I would also like to recommend you the colorful raindrops from Susie. And here she also cuts different shapes from the Ultra Suite and then plays with cabochons, beaded motifs, bezeled round stones. So there are many, many different possibilities. I love how she's framing the shape with cup chain. And again, this is a pretty fast bead embroidery project. And we have so many different beautiful colors of Ultra Suede. So I love using them also on the back sides. Like think about shoes with a red leather, with a red sole. So you can use the Ultra Suede on the back side of juvos, but when you want to bring them to the attention, then this is a great project. And Ariana says, I got so hooked on the colorful raindrops. And Miriam says, indeed, beading a traveler. You can learn so much, though. You already have bead embroidery experience. Erika shows a bunch of lovely ideas and ways to attach the beads and other material to the fabrics. Thank you, dear Miriam. Then, if you are ready to play with shaped beads in your bead embroidery project, then I have another YouTube tutorial for you called Lady Lily. And here I played with the origami flower bead. It is a pressed one from the Czech Republic. And I glued a chaton rose in the middle, and then I just had to keep playing with the lily flowers and the wax solos. Those were new for me back then, and I wanted to experiment with them, that how does it feel to work with them within a bead embroidery project. And Vanya also made the lady. What color did you make, dear Vanya? I'm curious. And mentioning playing, beadwork doesn't have to be strict and elegant and reserved. You can also make fun projects. So I would like to show you these beaded bodies from Susie. And we don't have the little triangles now, but we have small ovals. You can use rivolies. We have ovals also the glass ovals, and you can peyote bezel them and then attach them to the foundation. So many, many, many different ideas. Miriam wants to make this. Sherry has gathered the ingredients, and Vanya made a purple lady lily. Joyce says, look at those cute little people. Cute and fun, says Cindy. So indeed, or if you want to make a gift to a kid in your surroundings, then I think a little brooch would be a great idea. Then I would also like to mention Fern by Nitty. And I love it how Nitty managed to include so many different shapes and such a rich, resulting in such a rich texture within a small bead embroidery project. This is a pair of earrings, and you can also find these on the Beading School YouTube channel. She chose amazing colors and the shapes. The shapes. You look at it and it looks like a tropical flower. And it's on Vanya's list. And Faye made a pair of blue ones. They must be amazing, dear Faye. So when we started when we introduced you the bead embroidery weeks, then we decided that we want to make a bead embroidery. We want to dedicate a week to bead embroidery corresponding with every Beading School Academy team. And it started all the way back with the Aurora Borealis. And I posted a link to an article where we have included ideas for you how to use the ingredients of the Aurora Borealis box in your bead embroidery. And here is when I want to mention that sometimes we don't make a full tutorial for a Juvo, because basically if you learn to make the traveler, then even a few points are enough to understand what is happening. So this is one of those that Susie described how to make this absolutely cute, amazing piece. But I really recommend doing first the traveler, and then you will understand everything what is happening there. And Hannah says, in the meantime, I just ordered Ultra Sweet and it just went to the post office today. Oh my God, Hannah, such a good timing. And Rita says she made this and loves it. And Cindy says the Aurora Borealis is gorgeous. And Lutka says the fern earrings are excellent and luxury. So Susie is really amazing with bead embroidery projects too. So she also created one for the recent Bird of Paradise team. And this might be one of my favorite pieces of bead embroidery from Susie. And she used here one of the hand-pressed check cabochons and two of the beautiful historic filigrees. She made it into a brooch, but it can also be turned into a statement necklace. So I posted the link. You can find the gift tutorial on the Beading School blog. And Miriam says, this box was so beautiful and there have been 2 more embroidery projects. Spice Bazaar, what we played with in January and February, also had a piece from Susie. And it has so much energy and fire in it. Again, with a hand-pressed check cabochon. And I am amazed by Susie how she managed to expand this design. And Vanya says that one is on the top of my list. And another article from Susie regarding bead embroidery is Love is all we need. And we have the heart-shaped art cabochons back. It's good to know. And this piece is like bursting of love and radiating warmth and energy. And you can learn it again from the Beading School blog. Susie shows you how to do peyote bezel in bead embroidery around the heart-shaped cabochon. So this is a good one if you would like to try your hands with an unusual shape. And I also really recommend trying out how to add the slender bugles all around the heart. And when it comes to bead embroidery, then of course we also couldn't leave the fairy forest without a bead embroidery project. But before I would show you the absolutely amazing surprise from Aniko that I mentioned, then I would like to also remind you of one more from Susie. It's the dragonfly dance. I'm only showing a little piece of it, but since we are working with wing-shaped historic filigrees too during this Beading School Academy team, then I wanted to remind us all of the dragonfly dance. You can use the historic wing-shaped filigrees from the boxes that we had a few weeks ago, or as you can see, you can even turn other filigrees into wings, and you can create fairies, dragonflies, butterflies, as you wish. And Vania is a big bead embroiderer. She made this one. Cindy wants to try the bugles. Lutka made Susie's All We Need Is Love. And Erika says she wants to live twice to make all these beauties. And Joyce says that wing filigree piece looks fabulous. Indeed, and I do have another wing filigree piece for you, lovely ladies. And this time, as I mentioned, it is the work of our dear Aniko, who is the newest member of the Beadingschool Creative Team, and we are so incredibly happy to have her. The piece is called Leaf Whisperer, and Aniko said, Leaf Whisperer was inspired by the mystical legends and tales of enchanted forests, whispering leaves, leaping shadows, rustling wings, merrily dancing woodland fairies. With its soft lavender and turquoise colors, sparkly crystal beads, and organic patterns, Leaf Whisperer evokes the beauty of enchanted pieces. And Aniko did such an amazing job here. Like, after attaching the cabochon, there is a detail that if you look closer in the post, the way how she added a row of fire polished beads around the cabochons and then decorated them in a different way with seed beads, I think that is something that is really, really worth it to try. It is a beautiful piece. Also, like, there is movement in the cabochon itself, how the tulips are floating around, and then there is another circle of the fire polished beads and another circle of the bicones, and at the bottom the fairy wings with the cabochon and the chain. It is absolutely stunning, as Terry says. Vania says, oh my gosh, I love it, Aniko. Sherry says, that is fabulous. And Miriam says, it is very beautiful and a bit enchanted. Ariane, that looks amazing. I like the little size 15s over the seams of the fire polished. Indeed, indeed. So, lovely ladies, these were the gift tutorials for bead embroidery that I wanted to show you today. And I'm sure there are many of us who would like to make the leaf whisperer right away. So, hands up if you would like to bead it. And also tell me, please, which one is your favorite and which one will be the next one on your bead mat. I'm very curious to know. In the meantime, while I am waiting for your answers, I would like to again invite you for the Beading School birthday celebrations that will start next Tuesday and will last a whole week. So, lovely ladies, there will be lots of surprises. And mark your calendars because it will be creative, it will be emotional, it will be inspiring. So I can't wait to celebrate together with you. Irene is asking where can she find the tutorials. So dear Irene, these are on the blog and on YouTube, so that's why you don't see it in the bead shop. And we will find a way, actually we talked about it with Susie, how we want to showcase also the gift tutorials, even the ones without a PDF in the bead shop. But for now, please follow the links that I have posted, and then you will be able to find the blog posts and the YouTube videos. In the meantime, Susie stopped by to say hi. Miriam is waiting for her filigree box. Aniko is also here, and I think she's melting after reading all your comments. And I see that Sharon wants to make her jewel, Loretta wants to make it, Vania, of course. Molly says it looks lovely. And Cindy says, I love the fairy forest, and that is the next one I would like to embroider. So, and Deb says, I think I need that dessert. So, lovely ladies, as talking about bead embroidery, I think you already know also that together with the Bead Embroidery Week, we also like to release a new collection of beading school art cabochons to enrich your possibilities when it comes to bead embroidery. Beading school art cabochons, they are made in our very own atelier in the in Slovakia, together with the Treasury, and these cabochon. And I think today is a very fitting day that we talk about art cabochons, as today is Earth Day, and these art cabochons are made of clay, so it's very fitting that they appear on our bead mats. Before showing you the new collection, I would like to show you a little video of how the cabochons are made. So you could see a little sneak peek of how the cabochons are made, painted, placed carefully in the kiln, and then removed one by one. And when we release a new collection of art cabochons, then we select shades that work the best with the Beading School Academy team that we are playing with. sometimes with an addition to correspond with other extra collections, like now the Shamrock Lock box. That's why today's Celtic collection comes to you in dreamy blues, purples, and light greens to fit the fairy forest box, and gold, brown, and a different shade of green, so you can play with them together with the Shamrock Lock box. So many of the tutorials that you saw today, they were originally made with the hand-pressed check cabochons, but since all of these are circular with a flat back, then you can most of the time decide if you would like to use a beading school art cabochon or a hand-pressed check cabochon in your designs. And let me show you the cabochons that we added right now. Just a moment, I would like to share my screen. Can you still hear me, lovely ladies? Can you still hear me? Please let me know. And Miriam says in the meantime that the colors are very pretty. So I also managed to find the screen sharing option in the meantime. And I am showing you what's new in the Bead shop. I have also posted the link. So as you can see, yesterday, to finish the Springtime Awakening, we added a new kit called Contessa from Vicky Roberts, and all three colors are available at the moment: Lilac Ice, Citrus Delight, and Azure Dreams. When I scroll down, then I see that there are also new tools available in the Bead shop. So for example, we have now a ring sizer, we have now spools for wire or thread, we have new stainless steel scissors, new polishing cloths for sterling silver. These are still from last week, but I would like to mention them. So we have a new tutorial available from Ruxandra called the Baroque Mirror, and also her Avery from the Fairy Forest team is published now. Since springtime celebrations in our culture in Slovakia are actually connected to eggs as a symbol of fertility, that's why you can see so many oval shapes that we added to the Bead shop during this time. So that's why we have Vicky's set with the oval cabochon in the middle. That's why we have Ruxandra's earrings, and also we have new jewel bundles made by Zuzi for her mirror jewel in 3 colors available. And here is when I want to mention that we have this amazing Spring Love oval glass cabochon bundle available, and it contains 7 colors of opal glass cabochons. I will show you how they look like because I have them here on my bead mat. And this is a very, very rare opportunity that we have so many beautiful opal colors, including ones that I actually haven't seen before, like violet opal and chrysolite opal. So I really recommend taking the chance to adopt one of these opal cabochon bundles. We have here also the smaller ovals, And then finally, I could scroll down to the art cabochons in the new Celtic collections. So actually, these three shapes that you can see in the bead shop, the circular one, the oval one in Zuzi's tutorial, and also this square one with the rounded corners, I would say that these are the easiest to use in bead embroidery. I would certainly recommend to start with a circle, and then I would move on to an oval, and afterwards I would move on to a square. And I will also show you my earring, which actually has a Celtic square one. So as you can see, we have the light blue ones here, the purple ones, and light green ones. So you can play with them together with your fairy forest collection. And then we have the Tuscan yellow, which is my favorite shade of yellow art cabochons that I have seen so far. The brown is also beautiful, and this other type of green that goes so well with the shamrock lock box. And these were all inspired by Ireland. These were all inspired by Celtic knot patterns, and the Cayley, these two motifs that I am showing here, they were inspired by Cayley dancing, which is Irish sad dancing, danced in a group with complicated figures, and it reminded me of these patterns. So you can find this in a limited amount in the beading school bead shop now. And which one is your favorite, ladies? Is there an art cabochon now, a color or a shape? Here are the ovals, by the way, that I mentioned on their own too. So is there a cabochon, ladies, that especially caught your eyes now? A color, a shape? Which one is your favorite? And still also in the mood of springtime celebrations, I would also like to show you that we have the bunny cabochons that we have only for this time of the year, available now in new colors. And these are actually two more opals. And my favorite shades of opals, the freckled cadet blue and the brick orange. They are both beautiful. You can find also the oval glass cabochons one by one in the bead shop, but the best deal is if you go for the whole bundle, of course. And Cindy says she loves the brown one, and it's an amazing one. Like we talked about it with the ladies, that in this case, actually the collection looks the best in the brown color. And Linda says, I just ordered a square. And Deb says, I like the yellow and the pinky purple. Both are very beautiful. Now I just noticed the lavender, and that looks also super nice. And the yellow, it's absolutely amazing. And I would like to switch now to my other camera. So please give me a moment. I will show you a video in the meantime. Just 1 second, ladies, and then I can show you the cabochons, the earrings, everything you want to see. I actually managed to find a way of switching between my face camera and between my hand camera in an easier way. I have a new setup. I always need to like show you a video or something while I do it, but otherwise I think I figured it out finally. And here on my bead mat, I can show you some of the cabochons from the Celtic collection. So this is the Cayley Circle in brown. And I love it that the glaze, the paint, it stayed darker in between the knots. So the pattern shows absolutely beautifully with this color. I have the same color available in this small square. And again, all the knots, all the details are wonderfully visible. We spend lots of time and energy on testing that which glaze works the best with which pattern on the cabochons. Usually there are at least 2-3 rounds of painting and firing until we find what works the best. And sometimes it happens indeed that I choose a color and then the ladies from the studio tell me that, Erika, it's not possible, we need a thicker one or a thinner one. So there is lots of attention in the detail. Marcy has a question in the meantime. Why do items remain in your cart after you have purchased them? And I apologize for that glitch, Marcy. Sometimes it happens, unfortunately, and we could not yet figure it out what is happening. If it happens to you, then please just remove them from your cart. Double check if your order went through and just remove them, please. And from the squares, I also have a different pattern here and a different, slightly different size. And I think the light blue is also really great on this. And since talking about these square cabochons, I would like to show you the earring that I was wearing today. It is from the old generation of art cabochons. So you get now the art cabochons slightly bigger and with a lot more details in the pattern, but I wanted to show you this for inspiration. So this is a really monumental earring. As you could see, it's a real shoulder duster. I have only one piece of it. I wear it asymmetrically. It is bead embroidered, and unfortunately I managed to drop it, so some beads are missing now, but it's actually possible to mend this. I just need to find the time. So I attached the cabochon with peyote, and between the ultra sweet and the leather, I added the cup chain holders. The cup chain holders are also available in the Beadingschool bead shop. So what you can do is that you attach the last crystal in the cup chain to this cup chain holder, and it has a loop, so then you can easily hang it at the bottom of something, or you can connect motifs to each other. And then there is a cubic zirconia, a red magma cubic zirconia with just minimalistic decoration at the top. I have two other cabochons here. So this is the amethyst Trinity knot circle, an absolutely beautiful one. And thank you, dear Miriam. She says this earring is fab. And then I have here also the green color with the Cayley heart. There are like 4 intertwined hearts in it, it seems. Ireland captured my heart. And I mentioned that we have all these beautiful opal glass cabochons in a bundle, and I wanted to show them to you. Angelina says these cabochons are incredible. Nancy loves the Tree of Life, and Palima loves the amethyst. For Miriam, the green is beautiful. I wanted to show you the violet opal ovals. You can use them in Ruxandra's design, for example. I have here the rose opal. I wanted to show them to you. Next to each other to see the difference. So in my right hand, I have the rose opal, and in my left hand, I have the violet opal. The rose opal is sweet. The violet opal is more elegant, I would say. Terry also finds the Tree of Life stunning. She says, so detailed. Then I have a classic white opal, which goes so well with everything. Classic elegance. And then I have 3 blue shades. This is actually mocha, so it's more matte in between the opals. So this is called aquamarine mocha. Ludka finds both colors, the violet opal and the rose opal, excellent. This is aquamarine mocha. And then I have, and ladies, this is something to go for. Like if you see it in the bundle or on its own in the bead shop, go for it. Caribbean opal, Caribbean blue opal. This is super rare. There can be some thin lines in it because it's very, very difficult to make even colors when it comes to opals. So please, if you place an order, please do be aware of it, that there can be hairline transparent parts in the bigger Caribbean blue opal pieces. Cindy says in the meantime that she loves the heart cabochons and the bunnies. Hannah loves the amethyst. And Kimberly says, I was going not to get the oval cabochons, but now I just want to. They are so beautiful. And Terry orders them. Thank you, dear ladies. So as you can see, there are like thin lines in them. And that's because of the production. And then I have air blue opal. This is a softer blue tone. And again, absolutely, absolutely amazing. Nancy is asking for the opals. Dear Nancy, I would recommend going to the new page, new in the bead shop page, and then you will find them all. I will also try to find for you the bundle. Indeed, here it is. So I posted the link to the bundle. And I got another package of goodies. My haul from the Beading School bead shop from previous week, dedicated to metals. So I have here the Fairy Forest charms. I also like to add extra things to the bead shop that go well with the team that we are working with. So in case that we long for extra decorations that fit the style and the colors well, they are available for you. So this is a beautiful circle, like a full moon with sparkling stars, but then on the other side there is a leaf from the forest and a bit of magic in the middle. And this is available in different colors. So this is the Fairy Forest Charm. And it also comes with the Jonquille Gold cubic zirconia. Oh, and Kimberly says, I love it when you show all the goodies in person. I love it too, Kimberly. Like, it's so nice to like be happy for them together with you. And I think they just show a lot better on a video. This is sun colored. I'm not fond of every orange shade. I should not say this before the Netherlands King's Day, but I'm not fond of every orange shade, but this one is a good one. I also have here a green one. Molly says, wow, such colors. And Nancy found the opals. Wonderful. And Nancy is asking, do we need the cages too? Thanks for the link. Dear Nancy, if you are looking for cabochons for Ruxandra's earring, then yes, you do need the metal claws, and be posting the link to the metal claws. And the metal claws are available in silver and in gold too. In the meantime, I have here the forest charms, also the Fairy Forest charms with transparent crystals, Eternal Elegance. And then unintentionally, I left my favorite ones to the very end. And my favorite ones are with aquamarine. A brighter blue, but this also goes well with the Fairy Forest theme, I would say. Which one was your favorite, ladies? Which color? And in the meantime, I will go through my notes to see if there is something else that I need to mention. And what's very important, ladies, that this week, again, we will have an offline, no one has to be alone. Preparations, I will be honest, preparations for the birthday week are intense. So we need a little bit more time. And that's why we will have this week an offline, no one has to be alone pattern with Laura's tutorial. And Nancy Sampson says, Nancy says she likes the last one. Joyce likes the amethyst. And Angelina says, oh, I love orange in every shade. But then I love every color in every shade. I have no color loyalty. And Kimberly says, I like the aquamarine because it has a slight gray to it. Oh, Debbie loves the Caribbean blue ovals. Those are so incredibly beautiful, Debbie. So lovely, ladies. Next week it's beading school birthday time, and I will actually try to switch now back to my face. I hope I will not show up too big. Okay, So, lovely ladies, I would like to thank you for your attention today. Do you have any questions left that I might be able to answer right now? I would love to do that if possible. So if not, then see you in 1 week for the Beading School birthday celebrations. And thank you so much for your attention today. Thank you so much for your sparkly bead orders. Thank you so much for talking about Beading School on your social media channels. And I am looking forward to see more of your fairy forest creations in the Beading School Club. Big hugs, everyone. Take care.